All
All right.
right.
Looks like we're ready to go. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It's Monday night team up weekly call. And oh my goodness, look at us. There's like 28 of us live here tonight. And we're streaming into the team up Facebook page, where I know we have just many, many more partners plug in. I got to tell you, I'm excited and I'm exhausted. Wow. What an experience that we had. Juice Plus Live out of Anaheim this past weekend was just an absolutely stellar performance. Absolutely stellar performance. Just beyond. And for those of you that watched it virtually the way I did, I was in Waco, Texas, with about 70 members of the Team Up organization that fall under different NMD groups. But, I have to tell you, it was a very, very emotional experience for us this weekend. Number one, well, the food, the caterer was the bomb. The food was amazing. The grounds, the venue that we were at, hats off to Kathy Crockett for finding such an amazing venue. But for so many of us, this is the first time that we had been together in maybe 2 years, and some of us in 2.5 years. And so there was a lot of loving and hugging and tears going on this past weekend. And so it was an incredibly rewarding, heartfelt experience for me. And some of my takeaways from conference is that, number one, my friends, we're waking up out of our slumber. We are waking up out of our slumber. This conference was absolutely stellar. The home office delivered in spades, and working very closely with several of the Team Up members behind the scenes to bring the quality of the performances, lectures, and presentations that you saw. And I'm so proud of Steph Fletch and Holly Morris and Jamie Cantrell, just to name a few, that have been working closely with the home office to kind of shift the energy at a conference. And it showed. I could see their touch and their input in so many different places during the conference. So super proud of that. For me, even though I was watching it virtually, what I felt was this incredible feeling of diversity. We had our first Arabic female NMD. Wow. So diversity, inclusion, the program that was broadcast from the representatives from Puerto Rico and Mexico, stellar. There was just such a feeling of sophistication about the whole thing, and it moved effortlessly. Our big concern was that because so many of us were watching virtually, there were times when the Wi-Fi would fail on us, but other than that, it was absolutely amazing. So I've asked a couple of people to share tonight. I'm so glad David's on, because David, you're here with us. David, why don't you unmute yourself, and why don't you tell us your takeaway from the conference? And then I'm going to ask for some input from some of the reps.
I'd love to. I've kind of said the same refrain to dozens of people today on texts and Voxers and so forth. And the way I put it is, finally, after 3 years, 4 years, the wind is at our back. And that's what you were saying about the wake up. It's not just that we're waking up, but there's actually, we're being carried a little bit. We're being held up and carried along. And that's, for those of you who are, that's just everybody on the call who's younger than I am. You're the future, and some of you take advantage of this, like some of us did 25, 30 years ago. You're gonna have a really special time, and I just encourage everyone to not take this wind at our back for granted, and just do some careful planning between now and Atlanta, and get yourself to the next level. Just take the next step. Nothing fanatical, nothing out of the ordinary. Just with great composure and commitment, just work your way to the next position between now and Atlanta. and take a boatload of people with you.
Yeah. And David, Atlanta is October 13th,
That's
14th,
right.
and 15th. Your first action assignment tonight is block it off on your calendar. Because if it's not on your calendar, it will not show up in your life. So let's make sure we mark those, block those off. All right, there was a couple speakers that really, really resonated. I'm going to tell you, there were 70 of us in Waco. And after Donald Miller spoke, I mean, the energy, mind-blowing. Jennifer Saville, who we featured one of her lectures a couple weeks ago, but she really spoke to our hearts too. And of course, we're going to talk about something that was not showcased at conference tonight, but it's more in private groups. It's called boards. And I am so excited about boards. All right. So I'm going to do a little bit of a recap on Donald Miller, because I have a sense that this was not the only time we're going to see him. I have a feeling that Donald Miller is going to show up in the Juice Plus world again, and again. So he's an author, he's a speaker, he's a business owner. He's the CEO of a company called, what is it? Oh my God, I wrote it down here. I can't even see what it says. Something Boards. Okay, it's a marketing company. And he has a New York Times best-selling book called Build a Story Brand, clarifying your message so customers will listen. I have to tell you, some of the things that he shared are things that we've been hearing out of Jamie Cantrell's mouth for like a year and a half, all right? And what he said is that most companies spend a ton of money on marketing, and most of the marketing that comes out of companies is confusing, and it's confusing to the end user, the company, the customer. And so what he said, I found fascinating. He said that the brain has two functions, survival and thrive. And he said they best receive information. The brain receives best information in short, simple sound bites. Okay. And he said, if you confuse your customer, you lose them. All right. Start sound bites that are tied to their survival. Sound bites that are tied to what I say is their want, their need, or desire. And people buy products that they understand the fastest. Wow, if that's not a conversation that we've been having a lot in the past couple months. And so we have to, our message cannot be elusive or vague, and it has to be very, very, very defined. And so what he talked about was staging your conversations like the story, step 1, step 2, step 3. And he said, and in that story, you and I do not want to be the hero of the story. We want to be the guide. We want to be the person that takes them to the realization that Juice Plus is what is going to make a difference in their lives. All right. And I thought that was so profound. And so he said, one of the things he started with, he said, like in a story, is when someone says to you, what do you do? And how many times have you been in a dinner party, or you're in a park, or you're someplace, and someone says, so what do you do? And Terry Luongo say, well, I'm a national marketing director with a Juice Plus company, and people just love it. And deer in the headlights, they're not interested anymore. Boom, lost them right away. And he said, try this on for size. When somebody says, what do you do? Well, you know, I got tired a long time ago of watching people struggle with XYZ, cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, okay? And I know people that have personally struggled with that, or maybe I have struggled with that myself. So I partnered with a company that's making a difference in helping people get healthy. Guess what happens there? People want to know more. You've never even said Juice Plus. I got tired a long time ago of watching people struggle with cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, whichever you want to say. And I know people that have struggled with that personally. So I partnered with a company that's making a difference and helping people get healthy. Wow. Okay. How does that sound? How does that feel? Doesn't that feel authentic? And now you've opened up the doorway to take them into a conversation about Juice Plus. And he dropped bullets like if someone is sharing with you, when you ask them, what's your number one health concern? And when I do 3 or 4 phone calls, guys, that's almost the first thing I ask people. What is, and you can ask Abby, she could probably do Terry Luongo better than Terry Luongo. I'll say, what's your number one health concern? And he said that. That's the first thing we need to ask people. And then, but he said, he took it a little further. What's your number one health concern? You know, and he said things like, oh, you know, you shouldn't have to struggle with that. Oh my goodness. Oh, you shouldn't have to struggle with that. Wow. And then he just drops all of these amazing nuggets. So I'm going to encourage you, and I don't do this often, to really get his book, okay, Building a Story Brand, because I would love for us to start reviewing some of this content on a Monday night call, even just 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But what he said is that people will go where you tell them to go. And we need to paint the picture of what Juice Plus can do for their health. And guys, I know this flies in the face of what we have been saying for 4 years. All right, don't make claims, don't make claims, don't make claims. So this is like saying, you know, I know people who have done really well on Juice Plus as it pertains to what this person says. And I would get started now, because if you don't make some changes now, a year from now, you're more than likely to be struggling with the same situation. And he said, you know, the call to action is buy. I can send you a link and you can sign up today. But he has so many empathetic statements that resonate so deep. I was absolutely enamored with everything that he said. So we're going to be seeing a little bit more of Donald Miller in the next couple of weeks and months here on the Team Up call, because I think his content, the fact that the home office had him on stage speaks that we are ready to maybe be a little bit bolder. And that's how Stuart started the program. It's time to be bold. All right, so without actually making health claims, I think we can be a little bit more forward thinking in our approach to people. So Donald Miller, here we come. All right, so I have asked Sonia Marquez was with us in Waco. Let me tell you, this girl can dance. We had a dance party. I had David, wait till I show you the videos. And I am DJ TKO, and I want you to know that I'm available for bar mitzvahs, weddings, and strip parties, because it pretty much ended up being that on. David, you would have been impressed with your teams, okay? We had so much fun. So in any case, I think she won $50 for some dance that she did. But I asked her tonight to show up, to share your thoughts, Sonia, on Jennifer Saville, because once again, she blew her hair back.
Okay, all right, I have to catch my breath here. Thank you. It was so much fun. I have to just say, being there in person with everyone was amazing. So I'm going to give a quick update, because I know we have a lot of people that want to speak to and share. But I was really, Jen Saville had me captivated. You know, her whole thing was sharing, you know, be bold, life happens, live it. And she kind of she started with a screen, I think, just showing like, this is, you know, all the highlights, like the highlight reel of her last 5 years as a representative of Juice Plus, all the accolades, the awards, the, you know, all the promotions. And then she put up a slide showing like everything else that was happening in her life. Husband's best friend passed away. Her aunt came in to move with her. They moved, I think, twice. You know, all these big life things happening. And, you know, her big question was, what do you want? What do you want? And what are you choosing? You know, and living the what if life. Her first thing she really wanted to accomplish was getting her younger son in a school, a private school, I think. And then, you know, one of the things she was able to accomplish most recently is with a big check that she got from her latest, I think, promotion, she was able to put money down and actually they're funding a school, a new school. So, and I wasn't sure if it was the same one or a new one, but you know, how exciting. So this what if, so she says, and you know, reframe, she says, why, like, why are we doing what we do? We get to want to do something, what, you know, what do we want to do? And then reframe the no's, you know, don't let any of those no's that we're getting derail us, like just keep going. And again, she really shared so much about her personal story and what she's been through. The biggest, I think, the last 2 years was losing her upline, who was her best friend and someone that she did life with, I think she said since they were 11. I mean, like lifelong best friends and business partner. And then that friend left and she had to just keep going, pick up and keep going. So it was really inspiring. A couple other things she said. So again, don't let those no's and all these other things that happen in life hold us back. We have to keep going. Steer your own ship. You know, like, don't let the circumstances rule us. She had said, she just kept going back to, what do you want? And I think that's a really big question. We all need to sit and spend some time writing, what is it that we want? What are our goals? What do we want for our family, for our life? You know, time freedom. Do we want to get our kid into a private school? Do we want to have funds for a vacation every year? What is it? And then it was, when do you want it? And what are you willing to do to get it? And then, are we saying yes to ourselves? Like, are we 100% committed to our choices? She said that we chose to be a partner. Do we own that? That was big. That was big. So, you know, and then she said, who are you, you know, who in your life matters? She asked us to just write down people's name, that people that we wanted to spend life with and do life with, and who we're going to go and be bold and ask to join and link arms with us. Let me see if I have anything. Deciding to live in the and was a big theme. And that just saying that we always have choices. We always have choices. And those choices make us rich. So I think I caught most of that, but it was just very powerful to listen to her story and to listen to some of the decisions she's made and how she's just kept going.
Yeah, I think what I love about Jennifer is that, you know, we all assume when we see somebody, we get the impression that they're breezing through the marketing plan and advancing into the next NMD level. And then when she talks about, let me tell you what was going on behind the scenes, you know, lost our best friend, lost a sister, you know, my elderly aunt had to move in with us, moved 2 or 3 times. My husband took a new job. And 2 of the things that she said, Sonia, that really, really spoke to me, she says, I don't get in the car with someone who doesn't know where they are going. And what she means by that is that, you know, more than likely, she's not coaching or spending time with people who don't have a clear focus on what they want to be, do, and have. And more than likely, someone who does not have goals within the Juice Plus marketing plan. She doesn't get into the car with someone who does not know where they are going. Boy, that's a clarifying point. And then something else that I wrote down that she said, and I would love to make this a bit of an action step for all of us. She said, who are you pursuing? Who are you pursuing this week for the product? Who are you pursuing this week to invite to take a look at the business? Because if you're not pursuing anyone, then your business is more than likely declining. So who are you pursuing? That goes back to setting clear intentions at the beginning of the week for who you're talking to, following up with. But that really resonated with me. And I've got to tell you, you know, Terry Luongo, the past 2 years, you know, kind of plateauing and not doing a lot of growing, that really resonated with me. So I came home as tired as I was, and I wrote out 6 names on a piece of paper, 4 for the product, 2 for the business. So who are you pursuing? We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about that on the Team Up Facebook page this week. I think that's such a powerful, powerful thing to look at. And guys, we got some new bottles of Juice Plus coming to us. The new branding is going on. And I love the look of the new bottles. They're very, very sophisticated, very now, very attractive. So I'm really pleased with the new branding that we're seeing. All right, so Judy Strickler, if you want to unmute yourself.
Yes.
Jenna Rude. Well, first of all, in that white pantsuit, that white jacket, those white shorts, whoa, she looked amazing. And didn't everybody look amazing? Stuart Chronology. That girl knocked it out of the park. And Lisa Pebbles with those turquoise stilettos. I tell you, everybody looked magnificent. But Jenna Rude did some great, a great presentation all about events. Judy, what did she say? Because I know you love doing events.
Yes, I do.
What spoke to you?
I want to share some of the things that she said, but before I start, I just have to say, those of you that were at Waco, there were very few people there whose lives have not been affected by Charlotte Solis saying yes. Charlotte sponsored myself, Charlotte sponsored Kathy Crockett, and she's no longer in our business, but just imagine she said yes. She had that event. She said yes to the person that shared it with her. Oh, that's Terry Luongo. And so everybody is affected by your answer. Yes, by what they say. So Jenna was talking about events. Of course, I love events, all kinds. But one of the things, she had several points. And one of the things she said was, first of all, you have to decide what makes somebody want to even come to your event. Well, first of all, they have to know that you can solve a problem for them. So you have to know who they are and what their needs are. So you really have to ask good questions, and you have to live the Juice Plus lifestyle so they know really what you do. It really doesn't matter what kind of event you do, as long as you are excited about it. You have to have passion. You have to be really excited about it yourself. The second thing she talked about was what makes people prioritize your event. There's events all over, everything, many things they could do. Said they have to know that they will leave with something of extreme value. By sharing stories, people there will share their stories. Maybe they're going to learn how to do food prep, or they'll get a recipe to off the Tower Garden, something they can use. Whatever it is, they have to know they're going to go home with a value. Maybe it's just a swag bag, a bag of little trinkets or gifts for them, but they have to leave with something important. And then what makes someone prioritize your event? They want an experience. Most people come to your next event because of how your last event worked out for them. And so every time you have an event, I would say do one at least every month. 2 probably, because every time you have an event, you want to plan the next one 2 weeks out. So 2 events a month is not a lot. So that's what I want you to try. And you got to make it pretty. You have to have good food. You have to have background country music. Oh no, I added the country. You have to have background music and something fun for everyone. And the invite, the main goal is to speak human and be a friend. They got to hear your voice. That's so important. And Terry shared that with us so much. Don't text at all. Don't email them all. Use your voice. You can use it on Messenger. You can use it on text, whatever, but let them hear you. You call them personally, but make it about them. And I love, I got tired of watching someone struggle with. I love that line. That's so simple. We can all use that. And then tell them how you'll solve their problem. Tell them how you want them to feel, and we said, you shouldn't have to live like that. You shouldn't have to feel that way every day. You're going to be that guy that's going to help show them a better life. And then the flow of the event, you have to make sure that there's people mingling and talking to each other. You're the facilitator, not the presenter. You have to enjoy different activities. Make sure you ask them their story, like what is your biggest complication or difficulty in living a healthy lifestyle? What do you struggle with the most? I used to say, is it your rest and sleep, or is it your diet, or is it your exercise? What's the hardest for you? Just pick one. It doesn't have to take, all night. Just tell me what's your struggle. The next thing is you can do live events. I love doing live events, and they can bring friends and stuff, or you can do virtual events where you can do an event in your home and also have Zoom on so people other places can see you. You can do live stream Facebook events. There's many, many different kind of ways you can do events, and hybrid events she talked about. So if families come with their children and the children are cutting up vegetables too, or fruit, while you're teaching them why it's important to eat that. It's just a fun time. It doesn't have to be a structured classroom. And then she said the follow-up, of course, David Beavers would say, this is where the money comes in. The follow-up is the most important, because if they come to your party, they had a great time, they take something home, and you never talk to them again, you didn't make a friend. You have to build that relationship. So there's many systems we know about. There's social media. Juice Plus has Freedom Revolution, and we're going to learn about the boards. And I did use them today. I sent some out, and it was so simple, you guys. If I can do it, I promise you, everybody on here can do it. And then consistency is the other thing. You've got to do it all the time. Touch your business every day in some way. Just touch it somehow. Whether you listen to a video yourself to learn something, or you're going to go to the boards and check them all out, or the virtual office, or the hub, or whatever it is, touch it every day, even if it's 10 minutes, y'all, even if it's 10 minutes. And then, like what he said, the consistency is so important. But the last thing I want to share with you is she said, just keep showing up as you. Don't try to be Judy Strickler or Terry Luongo or Sonia. Don't try to be anybody else. Just be you. That's who they want to see. So I loved it.
Yeah, I did too. She's so beautiful. And, she made National Marketing Director young, and she just keeps growing. She's just a beautiful girl. She's going to be around for a long time. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate you so much. All right, guys. We're going to probably go more than a half hour tonight. Because I'm really going to talk about Camelia is going to talk to us about something called boards. But I just wanted to see, Abby, are you still with us? She's driving. Abby's driving from San Antonio.
I just took a quick bathroom.
I was in the bathroom. What was your takeaway from Waco?
Say again, Terry?
What was your takeaway from conference?
Jennifer Savall really spoke to me, living life in the and I think it really spoke to me because of the season that I'm walking through right now with moving and all of the things. Her story just really inspired me, as I'm sure it did everybody else, with just learning to, do this business in woven moments. And if she can do it through all the things that she's walked through, we have no excuses whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, she had a lot of reasons to say, no, I can't do this today. I can't do this. And yet she woke up every day. She was resolved. She was resolved to make this work. Thank you, Abby. You guys be safe out there on the road. Abby's driving from San Antonio tonight to Dallas, and then tomorrow heading to Clarksville. So wish her safe travels. We just heard from Abby, who's our resident millennial, but I'd love to, Margie McKeon. Margie, do you want to unmute yourself and just tell us what was your greatest takeaway from conference and your Waco experience?
Well, my greatest takeaway was being with such beautiful, energetic, healthy people. I was so impressed with the high quality of the women and their creativity and their power. I mean, that was stimulating. And then my other big takeaway, I'm a real novice in social media. So I was very, very interested and excited about the board. And I'm open to learning a lot about it. I think they'll make a big difference for me. There were so many things. And then the doctors that followed Stacy Whitmer, what they had to say about the microbiome and the body and the brain and connecting Juice Plus to it. I thought they had a pretty powerful message. You know, it's we are tired of seeing people who are sick and don't need to be, who have chronic diseases. So the whole weekend was inspiring for me, and I just love the interaction. And I'm also grateful for Terry and Judy and Kathy Crockett and Stephanie Flesher and all of those people that so inspired us. And they put so much energy into it and made it worthwhile being there. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Margie, for sharing. And let me tell you, Margie McKeon's got some dance moves. We got her on the dance floor. She got some dance moves, okay? All right. All right. So boards. What are we talking about? Now, the boards were not part of the virtual training. What we're going to share with you does not come out of the home office, but boards are something that are picking up speed and popularity very quickly across the Juice Plus world. So I've asked Familia to share with us. Familia, what are boards?
All right. So, first of all, it was amazing. It was amazing being with everybody. But the one thing that, of course, the dog's going to start. I'm not at my house. I'm dog sitting. So if you hear them, don't worry. So the one thing that drives me crazy is when things are so busy, and I hate seeing people struggle with trying to get information out to other people. Like Margie was saying, which Margie knows, she's got a free pass for free Zoom calls and training on boards with me. So oh, you know that, Judy does. I love each and every one of you, and I will help everyone. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So boards, what is boards? This is what you're going to do for boards. Very simple. Okay. I will explain what it is for a minute, but I think it speaks for itself and you don't need to hear me talking away. So step one, you're going to go to the App Store on your phone. You're going to search for boards, and it's a white tile with black letters that says boards. Okay. Then step two, you're going to open up the app. You're going to do it as a new registration, allow notifications, allow keyboard access. Then you're going to let Familia know that you have done this, and I will send you a link. When you get that link, you're going to click on it. You're going to put it in your email, or put in your email address, click on submit or done, I can't remember, and voila, it will update before your very eyes. Step 5, you're going to click on Team Up, and then the tile that says how to use boards, and you think, oh, wait, what am I going to look at? So here, you will see on here where it says Team Up under the first vertical, or what are we talking, horizontal, whatever, vertical slide here, it says Team Up. See that there? Then you're going to see, it says, you get to the Team Up tile, and it says how to use boards. That's the one that you're going to click on first. But just to give you a little surprise here, if you clicked on the Juice Plus products, you would get this whole thing here. I forgot my arrow, but under specific interests and conditions, this is what you come up with. It's right there. So when you click on one, you'll click on allergies, you'll see a video, you'll see something. You're just going to tap on it. And I will stop sharing now. You're going to tap onto that, and you'll see the little button, the little arrow, just as if you clicked on a picture and you wanted to forward that picture to someone by email, by message. You just click on it, and that's how you forward it off to people. And everything is there. And Stacy said, don't go and ask your upline. Don't go screaming to her or me. Look around. Go through the how to use boards, because everything is in here. Oh, and I should show you. Well, we're just going to leave it there.
Yeah.
There's a lot more that goes on to it, but that's all you need to know right now is everything is there, and it's that simple, and everything is 4 clicks away, if that, from your fingertips.
I think what I love about the boards is that it's taken the best of the Freedom Revolution. It took the best out of all of the websites that we go to. I mean, what is my Facebook page? Recordings. It's taken the best out of the Wendy Campbell website. And Wendy Campbell is like me. She's the keeper of all documents, okay? So they've merged just about all of the best programs together. So it's like the mothership of information. And it is so easy, as like Pamelia said, to point and click on something and then to forward it to whoever you want to send it to. Like Judy, I've been playing with it this weekend, and I had 2 people that I was talking to when I got back from Waco because they were interested in visiting with me about the product. So I sent them the beautiful price sheet, you know, showing them the trio, the duo, the quad, you know, that the circular image. And I said, hey, take a look at this. We'll discuss this and I'll call you in about 10 minutes. They looked at it. When I called them up, they already knew that the quad was going to be $80 a month. No problem. And I sent somebody else an information on arthritis. I went to the arthritis tab. It's so easy to forward information. It is going to, yes, Nancy, it is so exciting. So I want you to know that, you know, under my umbrella, you know, Judy's going to participate with me. So anybody on Judy's team has access to that. So let Pamelia, Judy, or myself know that you have installed your app and that you're ready for us to send you the link, and it's going to just propagate all by itself. Now, here's the best part. Okay, Stacy Whitmer is like the creator of our boards. Whenever she has an update on anything, she's going to say, it's going to automatically, she's going to put it on her board and it's going to automatically propagate on ours. Wow. So I am so impressed. I've been looking for something like this for a long time. It's fast, you know, it's easy, it's effective. And so once you've got your app installed, follow the directions that Pamelia said, you know, put in your email. Can you go back to that screen, Pamelia, that very first one, so that people will know exactly what to do? Yes, it is, Paula. It's a gift. Going to have Pamelia pull up that first screen. I think it can work internationally, Simon. As long as you have an email, you could email somebody this information. Of course, the pricing would be different, you know, in different countries, but basic information about disease processes would be the same. So go to the App Store on your phone, search for boards, white tiles with black letters, install it, okay? All right. Let Pamelia know that you have done this and she will send you the link. It's that easy. And then you can start playing. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do, right, Pamelia? Start pointing and clicking and start to see how easy this is going to be.
I just wanted to mention one thing. Someone had said it will, if Stacy adds something into there, like we want to get the Spanish videos, if she adds that into there, it will automatically update on everyone's when you open it up. The one other thing is here, so where it says create board, I can create a board, call it hashtags, and I can put in there just for my own use. The hashtags I use for the trio, the hashtags I use for running, the hashtag. So there's a lot of other things you can do here, but I wanted to keep it simple, and I want you to go to how to use boards because I went through there today. It's just, I've been sending out stuff from here. It's unbelievable, just unbelievable.
And how many of you have spent, like me, you know, I'll post something on social media and then I'll spend 10 minutes trying to think of a hashtag. And if you go to hashtags, there's like a million of them that we could use. Boom, copy them all, boom. I mean, Stacy Whitmer has put so much time and effort into this, and it is so beautiful. And it's just like everything else going on with the company right now. It's Victor Hugo, it's an idea whose time has come. So beautiful. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to contribute about either being in Waco or watching the conference virtually? Anything that pops into your mind that you'd like to share with us?
I thought,
can't-
I thought of something. This,
What's that?
I was thinking about what the farmer told us that day about that individual quick freezing that they were putting away was it was like a 2-hour harvest of some sort, and it's not taking days to get it to the store and on the shelf like it would have in any other situation. It's better than organic, fresher than fresh. It can be fresher than fresh, and it locks in the ingredients. And then he talks about being certified sustainable, and the next quality standards are, the lack of a climate change and your carbon footprint, and just a lot of things about plant-based nutrition. So I thought it was interesting because I hadn't heard anything about the frozen things, that they were just taking them right off the vines and putting them in bags and freezing them. So it's kind of neat. So
State of the art.
Yeah.
State of the art. Well, guys, we're going to continue unpackaging all this information. Once the NMD speeches are, they free them up and send them to us, we'll be looking at an NMD speech every Monday night. Some of the trainings that we watched will be available to us to view again. So, if you didn't catch it the first time, or if your Wi-Fi was rebuffing or buffing, whatever it's called, and you missed part of it, we'll have those presentations that we can review. But here's my challenge for you. Because it's the season now. Time to be fierce. Fierce. Fierce is what Stuart said. Fierce. She used that word at least a half dozen times. Who are you pursuing this week? Who are you pursuing this week? It's time to go back to that memory jogger and write down who you're pursuing this week. I look forward to hearing from lots of you this week, and you can share with me on Voxer who you're pursuing. Thank you, Heather Rappa. Love you so much. All right, guys. If that's it for you, it's it for me. It's been a long, fabulous weekend, and I have company in the other room waiting for me. So peace and blessings. See you soon. Okay. Just beginning, guys. We are really positioning ourselves for the next 25 years.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, I love you guys so much. Bye-bye. Thank you. You were missed, Sue. You were missed. I'll see you in Atlanta, though, girl. You're coming to Atlanta. You're muted, but I get it. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Put it on my calendar.
Good. All right. You take care, doll. You look good.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you, Kathy. You're frozen, Miss Kathy.